I'm gonna get all serious on you guys for this next video. Did you know that the #1 leading cause of deaths in America is abortion? And the lowest amount of deaths caused in America is from gun violence. Since the early 90s, out of the 100,000 American people, estimated 2 people per 100,000 people die from gun violence. Newsflash, people, if you create more laws, only gun-abiding citizens are gonna be affected by it. Criminals won't. Since 1950, there's been more attacks and murders with a handgun than an AR-15. Here's a fun fact for you. When Saddam was in charge of Iraq, he used to have his National Guard, or death squads, go out and kill people with 9mm. Iraqi people were more scared of this little round than an AR or an M4. And these kids want to march on Washington like they actually have a say in what's going on here. They're not even old enough to vote. Not to mention you have some girl go on the stage talking to Americans with a Cuban patch on her shoulder. And I know plenty of Cubans, and they'd rather be here showing the American flag than the Cuban flag. Now, if you want to go to Cuba and live your life there, I mean, hey, I'll pay for the ticket. It's cool. But us law-abiding, loving Americans will stand up for what's right, and that is every part of the Constitution. For all the guys saying that it was written for muskets, no, muskets not even mentioned in the Constitution. Because if that's the case, then we need to erase computers, tablets, and go back to a feather point pen. But that was never mentioned either. The whole thing about regulated militia, a armed American citizen that's protecting their rights or other people is a militia. When the media and legislation system is using kids to further their agenda, like going after our guns, that reminds me of something back in the 1930s. There's so many kids that was being left out right now that were involved in this horrible tragedy down here. But you never see them on the news because it goes against what the mainstream media wants. Technology advances, but the moral compass of this country will never change. Just had to get that off my chest, guys. Have a good night.